What's good, purple people? The energy in Minnesota is absolutely electric right now, and I'm telling you, there's something brewing in the Twin Cities that's got me fired up beyond belief. We're talking about a franchise that just shocked the entire NFL world, going 14-3 with a backup quarterback, and now they're making moves that could define the next decade of Vikings football. But here's the thing that's got my heart racing. There's a story unfolding right now that nobody's talking about. A story about second chances, redemption, and the kind of raw talent that makes front offices lose sleep at night. We're dealing with a situation that involves a former 5-star recruit. A player who was once ranked as the #1 tackle in the entire country, ahead of future first-round picks like Charles Cross and Evan Neal. This isn't just any story, folks. This is the kind of narrative that separates championship teams from pretenders. The pressure is mounting in Minnesota like never before. J.J. McCarthy is preparing to take the reins from Sam Darnold, and every single move this organization makes right now will determine whether we're looking at a Super Bowl window or another decade of heartbreak. The stakes couldn't be higher, and that's exactly why what's happening behind the scenes is so crucial. So if you're ready to dive deep into the most underrated storyline of this entire offseason, make sure you smash that like button and drop a comment below. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to change how you view this team's future forever. And trust me, you're going to want to subscribe because this rabbit hole goes deeper than anyone realizes. The first piece of this puzzle involves a veteran pass rusher who could be the missing link in Minnesota's championship puzzle. We're talking about Matthew Judon, a player whose addition could transform the entire defensive identity of this franchise. Aaron Schatz from ESPN is pushing hard for this move. And when you break down the numbers, it's absolutely brilliant. Look at Minnesota's edge rusher situation right now. They've got Jonathan Greenard and Andrew Van Ginkel holding down the starting spots, with Dallas Turner, their 2024 first-round pick, waiting in the wings. But here's where it gets interesting. Behind those three, they've got Bo Richter, an undrafted free agent who played exactly 29 defensive snaps last season. 29! That's the kind of depth that keeps defensive coordinators awake at night. Judon might be 33 years old, and yes, he had a down year in Atlanta with just 5.5 sacks, but this is a player who recorded 15.5 sacks just 2 years ago. Sometimes all it takes is the right system, the right motivation, and the right opportunity to rejuvenate a career. Minnesota could offer him exactly that. A chance to be the difference maker in crucial moments. The veteran presence that elevates everyone around him. The beauty of this potential move isn't just about the immediate impact. It's about creating a rotation that keeps everyone fresh, that gives Brian Flores the flexibility to dial up pressure packages that opposing offensive coordinators can prepare for. This is chess, not checkers, and the Vikings are positioning themselves to make moves that other teams wish they had thought of first. But Judon's potential arrival is just the beginning of a much larger story, one that involves decisions made in the past that are still rippling through the present. The quarterback situation that defined Minnesota's recent history is about to intersect with their future in ways that will leave you absolutely stunned. We're just getting started, purple people, and what comes next will reveal why this offseason might be the most important in franchise history. The next chapter of this story involves a confession that changes everything we thought we knew about the Vikings' recent past, and a revelation that proves sometimes the best moves are the ones you don't make. Kirk Cousins just dropped a bombshell that has Vikings fans everywhere feeling vindicated, and when you hear what he said, you'll understand why this franchise is in a better position than anyone realized. The man who left Minnesota for Atlanta just admitted something that proves the Vikings made the right choice by letting him walk, even though it felt painful at the time. In Netflix's new quarterback series, Cousins opened up about his decision to leave Minnesota, and his words are gonna hit you like a freight train. He said, "Certainly if I had that information about free agency, it would have affected my decision. I had no reason to leave Minnesota with how much we love the state if both teams were gonna draft a quarterback with a good performance." Let that sink in for a moment. The quarterback who signed a 4-year, $180 million contract with Atlanta with $100 million fully guaranteed is now admitting he might have stayed in Minnesota if he had known the Falcons were going to draft Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall. The same Kirk Cousins, who was supposed to be Atlanta's franchise savior, ended up getting benched at the end of the season after a disastrous performance against the Las Vegas Raiders. This isn't just about one player's regrets. This is about validation for an entire organization that trusted their process even when it hurt. The Vikings let Cousins walk, rolled with Sam Darnold, and went 14-3. They proved that sometimes addition by subtraction is the most powerful move you can make. Cousins continued, "With the information I had at the time, I made the best decision. You also know that if you sit in week 10 and wait 2-3 weeks or more to recover, you might never get your job back." He's talking about the reality that veteran quarterbacks face, the fear of losing their spot, the pressure to play through injuries, the constant threat of being replaced. But here's what makes this story so beautiful for Vikings fans. While Cousins was fighting for his job in Atlanta, Minnesota was developing J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback with unlimited potential on a rookie contract. The Vikings didn't just dodge a bullet, they positioned themselves for sustained success while their former quarterback was learning the hard way that the grass isn't always greener. The discussions around the fan base have been healthier without Cousins, and that's not a knock on him as a person. It's recognition that sometimes teams need to move on from good players to become great teams. Minnesota made the tough choice, and now they're reaping the rewards. This revelation from Cousins sets up the final piece of our story perfectly. Because while the Vikings were making smart decisions about veteran players, they were also making incredible discoveries about young talent that nobody saw coming. The next chapter involves a player whose journey from 5-star recruit to undrafted free agent is about to become one of the most inspiring stories in all of football. What happens next will prove that sometimes the best finds come from the most unexpected places, and that the Vikings' ability to identify talent goes far beyond the first round of the draft. This is where our story reaches its crescendo, and where you'll discover why this franchise is building something truly special. The final piece of this incredible puzzle brings us to one of the most fascinating stories in all of football. A tale of redemption, untapped potential, and the kind of raw talent that makes scouts wake up in cold sweats. We're talking about Logan Brown, a player whose journey from the top of the recruiting rankings to undrafted free agent is about to become the stuff of legend. Picture this. In 2019, Logan Brown was the #1 offensive tackle recruit in the entire country. Not number 5, not number 10, number 1. He was rated ahead of future top 10 NFL draft picks like Charles Cross, Darnell Wright, and Evan Neal. Alan Trieu from 247 Sports wrote that Brown should be a first-round NFL draft pick in the future. This was a player that Alabama and Michigan were desperately trying to land, and Wisconsin got him. But then life happened. Injuries derailed his early years in Madison. A mid-season dismissal from the program in 2022 due to an internal incident, reportedly a fight with a teammate during practice, sent him into the transfer portal. His 2023 season at Kansas was cut short by a foot injury. By all accounts, this was a career heading toward disappointment. Then came 2024, and everything changed. In his 6th year as a college player, Brown finally got to show what all the hype was about. Playing right tackle for Kansas, he earned an exceptional 82. 5 grade from Pro Football Focus, allowing just 6 pressures and 0 sacks in nearly 300 pass blocking snaps. His movement skills in run blocking was spectacular, and his tenacity in finishing blocks was the stuff that offensive line coaches dream about. Here's where it gets wild. Many analysts projected Brown as a 4th or 5th round pick entering the 2024 NFL draft. But he went undrafted, and the Vikings swooped in to sign him as one of their priority undrafted free agents. They guaranteed him $244,000, which tells you everything you need to know about how they view his potential. Brown's athletic testing numbers are absolutely insane. He posted a 9.49 relative athletic score, which puts him in elite company. At 6'6" and 315 pounds, he has the size and length that you simply cannot teach. His technique needs work, sure, but the raw tools are there. The Vikings offensive line coaches, Chris Cooper and Keith Carter, now have a chance to mold a player with first-round talent into something special. The depth chart situation is perfect for Brown's development. With Christian Darrisaw dealing with injuries and the team needing reliable depth behind Brian O'Neill, Brown has a legitimate shot at making the 53-man roster as a backup tackle. At worst, he'll develop on the practice squad, assuming the team doesn't have character concerns after his past issues. This is the kind of story that defines championship organizations. Finding diamonds in the rough, believing in players when others have given up, and providing the structure and support system that allows talent to flourish. Brown's journey from 5-star recruit to undrafted free agent to potential Vikings contributor is exactly the type of narrative that makes football beautiful. The Vikings aren't just building a roster, they're building a culture where second chances matter, where potential is valued, and where the right environment can unlock abilities that others couldn't see. Logan Brown represents everything that makes this franchise special right now. The willingness to take calculated risks, the belief in their development system, and the understanding that talent comes in many forms. So there you have it, Purple People. 3 stories that perfectly capture where this franchise is headed. From the veteran leadership of Matthew Judon to the vindication of moving on from Kirk Cousins to the untapped potential of Logan Brown, the Vikings are positioning themselves for something truly special. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this team is about to embark on a journey that none of us will want to miss. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these stories excites you most. Are you ready to see what this new era of Vikings football has in store? The future is purple and it's brighter than ever. Skol!